Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tea Time. I'm your host, Polina, and today I'm joined by the best girls ever, Tiffany, Alexandra, and Ilana. Hey, girls, how are you all doing today?
Hi.
How are you? I'm good, and I'm really happy to be here with you. So, today's episode is going to be special. We're talking about something really important: identity, belonging, and what it means to live as transgender person. But don't worry, isn't a debate, it's a space for truth and understanding. Just a reminder that it's an open discussion where we talk with people that gave their consent. This is our own opinion based on information we found on the internet, and we suggest you always do your own research. We always try to respect boundaries. We also know that we will discuss sensitive topics, so feel free whenever you want to skip some parts. Other than that, enjoy this episode. Let's start with a little history. The T in LGBTQI plus community for transgender wasn't always included. In the 1990s, people mainly used LGBT to talk about the lesbian, gay, and bisexual community. But with time, more activists spoke up for the right of transgender people, and they helped bring more attention to trans issues. In fact, did you know that back in 1975, Boston Pride already had trans representation? So trans people have always been here. The visibility just took time. You can find more information about this in the episode Transgender Are Not New.
Exactly, and the word transgender only became more common in the 2000s. Before that, as you said, people used other words that weren't respectful or accurate. So indeed, to go back a few years before, the L for lesbian of the LGBTQ plus community is the first to emerge. But in the 90s, lesbianism was also seen as a political act, a way to reject patriarchal society and heteronormativity. At that time, tensions began to surface with the LGBT plus movement. Transgender people were fighting for recognitions, but on the other hand, radical lesbian faction refused to include transgender women in the lesbian community. Indeed, we call this group TERF, like the Trans Exclusionary Radical Feminist. It's basically extreme feminists who exclude trans women, claiming that one can only be a woman as if the person is born as a female. So the TERF saw trans women as infiltrators, men, for trying to maintain male power in female spaces and then hiding women's independence and empowerment. Thankfully, these views have evolved over time, but they still fuel some debates today in some countries.
We had an interview with Joyce. Joyce is a trans woman, and we can still see today that she faces a lot of discrimination. She made a community group for lesbians. And she made that with a lot of other trans women, and eventually she had to give up her role and was kicked out of the group because she was not a real lesbian. So we can still see that today.
It's really sad.
Really sad, yes, and strange. But at least she did something good in the end.
Yeah, it's just heartbreaking to see how much it affects them, and they're women, they're lesbians like us, like me.
Okay, what you say about now? Trans people face huge challenges even now. About 70% experience depression, half have thought about ending their lives, and that's heartbreaking. And even inside the LGBTQI plus community, trans people can feel left out. And the fight for gay marriage or adoption doesn't always include the issues that trans people face, like healthcare, legal documents, or safe spaces in school or even prison.
Yeah, that's really true. I mean, we can forget, even though there is only one community, the experiences aren't all the same and people are different.
It's really true. Okay, now let's talk about something that often causes confusion. What's the difference between being transgender and being a drag queen?
Yes, I hear this question a lot and we should break it down.
So, drag queen is a kind of performance. Drag queen and drag king plays with gender through makeup, clothes, wigs, all that fun, fabulous stuff. Drag queens dress in very feminine ways with a bright makeup and glittery clothes, and drag kings dress in very masculine ways, often with fake beards.
Right, and a drag queen might wear huge lashes, glittery dresses, big hair, and it's all for the show.
And it's important to know anyone can do drag. Men, women, non-binary people. It's an art form, not a gender identity, but being transgender. That's different. It's not a performance, it's about how someone truly sees themselves on the inside. So, if someone was born with a male body but feels like a woman, that's a trans woman. She's not dressing up, she's living her real identity every single day through her name, her pronouns, her clothes, voice, everything.
Yeah, and that's where it gets tricky. Sometimes people think drag and trans people on the streets are the same, and that causes a lot of confusion and discrimination, but they're really not the same.
Yes, exactly. And now let's do a quick comparison. Transgender, someone whose gender identity is different from their birth, it's who they are. Drag, a temporary performance usually for fun or art, it's not their identity. But there are people who are both, like Peppermint, she is a trans woman and also a drag queen. She was on RuPaul's Drag Race. Now let's talk a bit about the feeling between these two groups, because not everyone sees drag in the same way. Some trans people don't like drag. They feel like it sends the wrong message that being trans is just about dressing up.
Yeah, exactly. And make me think about the example of India Willoughby. She's a trans woman and she's been very critical of drag shows.
But then for others, drag is part of their gender journey. I mean, like Carmen Carrera, she started as a drag queen and later transitioned. Now she's a proud trans woman. So it really depends on the person. Like I said before, people are different. Some trans people find freedom in drag, others find it hurtful or confusing, and I think both feelings are valid.
Alexandra, I completely agree with you. The key is respect. Let's listen to each other and try to understand where people are coming from.
Yeah, we had the pleasure to interview a drag queen and also a transvestite, and that is a new word we haven't heard today. So I would suggest we just learn from the people who know the most about it.
Kun je mij het verschil uitleggen tussen travestiet en drag queen dan?
Een travestie, dat is iemand die imiteert iemand van in vrouwenkleren. Hoge schone schmink, dit, alles erop en eraan. En een drag queen, dat is meer voor de dancing. Dat is ongeveer hetzelfde, maar nog anders als een travestie.
Ja, oké. Ja. Voor mij, ik dacht dat dat één net was eigenlijk. Dus ja, dat is wel interessant.
Nee, want nu de dag van nu zijn er drag queens. Zoals bijvoorbeeld, ik kan bijvoorbeeld drag queen zijn en travestie zijn. Dus dat is ook nog een verschil tussen. Dus sommige kameraden van ons, we hebben ze overlaatst nog gezien optreden. Dan ene keer is een drag queen, de dag nadien is een travestie gaat die optreden. Dat is helemaal een ander concept.
Oké. Ja, super interessant.
Ja.
Maar daar ben ik het niet volledig mee eens.
Oké.
Nee, ja.
Want ik vind persoonlijk, als wij tegenwoordig zijn er veel travestie-shows. En onlangs waren we nog naar een travestie-show geweest. Maar ze hadden dit gezegd als, dit is een drag queen show.
Ja.
Wij zijn speciaal, omwille van, omdat ik het vroeger ook deed, hebben we kaarten besteld en zijn we gaan kijken. En ter plaatse waren het enkel en alleen travesties voor mij. Maar voor mij is een drag queen blijft voor mij
Een man.
Ik zal nooit borsten, ik zal nooit panties dragen, ik zal nooit geen BH of een pruik. Bij mij was het gewoon het man zijn, heel speciaal gekleed, hoeden, overdreven gemaquilleerd, dat wel, maar het man zijn bleef. En
Ja.
dat is het verschil voor mij persoonlijk. Een travestie.
Dat is ongeveer als een vrouw.
Die gedraagt zich en die maakt een optreden met vrouwenkleren, die borsten, panties, hoge hakken.
Ja.
Maar dat is dus een totaal andere wereld voor
Dat moet
mij.
ik wel zeggen, ene keer als je je gemaquilleerd bent en je hebt volledig heel je tenue, zijn je volledig anders.
Ja.
En dat is bij een drag queen ook zo, dan echt zo vrouwelijk. Man, allee,
je wordt een andere persoon.
het is zo.
terwijl,
En ene keer als alles af is, zijn je gewoon terug man. Dat is volledig anders.
Ja, dat ligt eigenlijk heel ver van elkaar. Wie
Ja.
je zijt dan in of
Ja.
zonder. Oké, super. In jullie eigen woorden, hoe zou je het verschil duidelijk maken tussen een transgender persoon en een drag queen of een transgender persoon en een travestiet?
Je hebt er de travestie zoals ik, die entertainment. Je hebt er ook mannen, hetero mannen, die...
Oh, Ilana, thank you for sharing this interesting information with us. That's our episode for today. I hope you learned something new or at least had some good tea with us. Thank you so much, my wonderful guests, Tiffan, Alexandra and Ilana. You're amazing.
Thank you, Paulina. Same as you.
And to everyone listening, thank you for being here. Remember, every person deserves respect, whether they're performing on stage or simply living their truth. See you next time on Tea Time. Bye!
Bye.